If you do what is easy, then your life will be hard. And if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. I realized that I need to deal with this now, because the second order consequences of letting this go is that if the writer did this on purpose because he or she wanted to get done with the work quickly, then they might feel that they can get away with this, and they might do it in the future as well. Stay in the game. If something happens, let's say you're doing publishing and a book doesn't succeed, publish another book until you start to get some wins. And then you focus on that and you see, okay, what did I do wrong with that book that didn't go well? What did I do wrong with this business move, or whatever it is? And you analyze it and you make sure you correct it. And then you also see your wins and you see what went well. I will give this video one last chance. My name is Peter. I built a 7-figure publishing business, and in these videos I share the lessons that I've learned along the way. And the reason I said that I will give this video one last chance is because I've tried to record this video several times and I've faced so many hiccups along the way. So for example, in the first one, it was too bad terrain. So if you are interested, I will show some clips at the end if you want to see the failed tries. And then I did another one, and the storage got full, and then eventually the phone got dropped into the water, and the microphone that was attached to it didn't function. So this video will not be the perfect one, but hopefully you'll be sticking to it, because I will share a concept that has really helped me. And you might say 7 figures, that's not so much. There are people that have made 8 figures, but I believe I've done something quite unique in terms of making 7 figures in publishing. So I believe that this is a video worth watching, and the concept that I will discuss is something that can truly help you to overcome challenges and make a difference in your journey, whatever it is, if it's publishing or if it's another business model or anything else. So this week, it's something about it. I have been having these occurrences. So for example, where I have to re-record a video has continued to happen over and over again. And I will tell you how this started. So 2 days ago, I recorded a video for my Skool Community, and it's a very important video. So I did 48 minutes the first try, and then I realized that it was lagging because the computer got overheated and the external cooler broke. So what did I do? I changed and I used another computer, and that computer didn't record according to the settings of the other computer. So I did it a third time, and then I realized that the mouse setting was set too small. Like, you couldn't see where I was clicking, and that was not good, because it's a video where you need to see where I'm clicking. But I thought that, okay, maybe the video editor can fix this. So I messaged him and told him to aim to finish this, because I don't want to make this video again. It took 40 minutes to make. But then I ate dinner and I thought about everything that I still had left to do on that day. And despite that, I went down and I recorded it a 4th time, and that 4th time it was good to go. So that is an example of this week. And another example, yesterday I was working on the descriptions, and as I was working on the descriptions, I realized that there was one thing that I wanted to double check in the manuscript. And when I did the double checking, I realized that it wasn't written in the way I would have expected for the target audience. And if you know about me, I have an editor that goes through the books, which I believe is very talented and has a lot of skills. But this one, I think, slipped through. I started to investigate further, and I found that it had the issue which I'm so much against, because in my opinion, a book is supposed to be a one-stop solution, a packaged solution to a problem. And I don't ever want the readers to feel like they have to look up more information, so that the book is telling them, for example, you need to look up this information. And this book wasn't doing that, but it was giving more questions to the readers. So it wasn't specific enough. Let's say it talked about big, and it was an instruction. And what is big? That's the question. For some people, big will be something, and for other people big will be something else. It's just like when you're telling a person, I will come soon. It depends on the context. It depends on who the person is. For example, for some people, soon that will be 30 minutes. For another person, it will be 5 minutes. And if you talk to someone on the other side of the world, soon might be next winter or next summer. And if you're talking to your neighbor, soon might mean in 10 minutes. So it all depends on the context and the person. I knew that the readers, they would get more questions, and that would create frustration in them. And that is not something that I want to give the reader, because I know that they will channel that frustration towards the book, and they will most likely, at least some of them, will end up leaving negative reviews. And that is one consequence of letting that thing go, which is what I decided not to do. Even though for a small moment I was about to just upload the description and say that, okay, enough. Like it's gone through the editor, it's gone through the writer, and it must be good enough. However, something inside me told me that this is not the right choice to make. So I did the hard thing. Even though I had more things to do that day, I decided to stop and take 2 hours to write long emails to everyone involved in the process, everything from the guideline creator to the writer to the editor. And I told them what I was seeing. And I provided examples of how I think it should look instead of how it looked currently. Because yes, the first consequence, it is that it will get bad reviews. But what is the second consequence? Let me first explain what first and second order consequences is. So for example, if you buy a TV, then the first order consequence is that that TV costs money. But the second order consequence is that because you have invested something in the TV, you will now feel that you need to watch the TV. And what does watching the TV do? It might make it so that you're, instead of using that time towards reading or working on your business or making progress on your goals, you're using that to watch the TV. So that is an example of a second order consequence. And in this case, letting that thing go, that thing that I was seeing, which to some people might be considered a small thing, but to me, I saw that this might be something that could occur in other books. And that's why I realized that I need to deal with this now, because the second order consequences of letting this go is that if the writer did this on purpose because he or she wanted to get done with the work quickly, then they might feel that they can get away with this, and they might do it in the future as well. And let's say it wasn't the case, that the writer didn't do it because he or she wanted to get done or wanted to take some sort of shortcut. Maybe it was just the fact that the writer wasn't aware how important this is. So either way, it's my job as a publisher to make sure that I give the writer the feedback necessary in order to make improvements for not just this book, but also future books. So throughout your life and throughout my life, I've had these moments where I can choose to take the easy road. I can choose to go with the video version that is just good enough, or I can choose to make another version which contains all the information and all the components that I want. And it's in those small moments, I believe, that the difference between success and failure is made. So success and failure, it's in those small moments where you choose to read those 10 pages every day. It's those moments where you choose to stop and actually do the hard work, even though you want to move on to the next work. And it's those moments where you choose to have an uncomfortable conversation, even though you'd rather do something else. So that is what this video is about. It's about finding those decisive moments and making the right call. And I made a video on the speed of implementation. And you might say that this is the opposite of speed of implementation, because speed of implementation, that's all about acting quickly and getting things done quickly and not trying to be perfect all the time and not getting stuck in paralysis by analysis, etc. And I believe that there's a dichotomy. Just like there's a dichotomy with leadership, sometimes you need to be harsh, sometimes you need to be a little bit more forgiving. There's a dichotomy with a lot of things. And I think that the dichotomy between this acting quickly and not getting stuck in perfection, and this stopping and making sure that something is to the best it can be, I think the key is finding out, is this thing crucial? And when it's not crucial, then you can move quickly. But when it is crucial, then I believe that taking the time to sharpen the axe, I'm not sure exactly who, maybe someone in the comment can tell me who it was that said it, but there was someone who said that if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 6 hours sharpening the axe. So sometimes we want to stop and we want to make sure that we're on the right course and that we've done the right analysis and that we've really made sure that we're on the right path, because a little bit of deviation from the set out target, if you, for example, imagine that you're driving an airplane, then if you just stare 1 millimeter to the left, for example, then what will happen? You will end up in a completely different destination than where you set off. So it's about course correcting in these crucial moments that will really have an effect on where you will go. And you could argue that I did in fact use the speed of implementation in these moments. So for example, when I faced the challenge with the video, I did re-record it the same day. I didn't let it build up, so I had more things to do the day after. And the same is true with yesterday. When I discovered that error or that thing that could be better in the book, I acted right away and I started to write emails and looking deeper into it right away. And the same is true with this video. Even though it's late right now and I would ideally like the first recordings that I did to be good enough so I can patch them together, then I still made this recording, and even though it's not perfect, I believe that it delivers the core message clearly enough. And now I will drop in some of the clips of the failed recordings, because I think that the concept was quite good. I was going to go through some hard terrain. I got to a very nice place and I got to see some animals. It was a great experience overall. But this video, it is an example of that sometimes when you face a challenge like this, let's say it's something in the way, what can we do? We can go around it, we can go over it, we can jump over it, we can crawl under it if needed, or we can simply choose to stop and we can think what is the best way, and then after we've thought about what is the best way forward, then we can course correct. If you do what is easy, then your life will be hard, and if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. And I very much believe that this is true, because we will always get a chance to go the easy path, but if we choose the hard route, then we will experience life in a different way, and we will experience being proud of the work that we're doing. And I believe that that is what we want. I feel like a documentary explorer over here. Those key moments where we have a choice. Do we let this go, or do we do something about it? And if we decide to do something about it, if we decide we face this challenge right here, what can we do? We can stop and we can go back, or we can go under it, we can go over it, we can go around it. I choose to go over it this time. Other times I've chosen to go under it, like I will do now for this one. And sometimes when you face a tree in the middle of the way, you just go around it. Look at this, guys. So I wanted to do freestyle skiing professionally. My identity was very much that I was a freestyle skier. That was what I was known for, and that was what I enjoyed doing the most. It was when I was feeling the most alive. Now, what happened was that I had an accident and I had to do surgery on my knee, and after that it wasn't the same. And I got very depressed after that period because I didn't know what to do. And maybe you've been in a similar situation where things take a turn, and when those moments happen, we have a choice. And what I did was I found something else, and it wasn't giving me the same fulfillment, but at least I felt that I had a mission, and that mission was to achieve freedom. So when I was doing freestyle skiing and I was flying through the air, I felt a sense of freedom. And what I wanted as an adult was to have freedom over my time and over my location, if that's what I wanted. If I wanted to go somewhere, go here, go there, I can do that because I have location freedom. And now I realize that there are other ways where I can fulfill that desire to get adrenaline or to feel alive or feel in the present moment. For example, for me, going on a bike ride, it makes me feel alive. And also doing Muay Thai, sparring or fighting, it also gives me the same feeling. So sometimes if you hit a roadblock, you may not necessarily need to go through the same wall. So maybe you need to go an alternative route and do something else that achieves the same or a very similar thing, or gives you a very similar feeling, if that's what you're after. Because sometimes what we're after is a feeling, and that feeling could be a feeling of freedom, it can be a feeling of feeling alive, or it can be a feeling of being calm and being in peace in yourself. One thing that I like is that the winners and losers, they both have failed. The only difference is that the winner, he picks himself up and he goes at it again. So now I will share something with you, a challenge that I went through, which is not related to business, but I did a Muay Thai fight and I prepared well, according to me, or what I thought, for this fight. I trained with one of the best people in my city, or in my country even, I think. And I traveled far to train with him. 2 hours back and forth was the total time. And I trained a lot. I did running. I trained up to 10 times per week, 10 to 14 times per week. So many days it was twice a day. It was running and it was Muay Thai. However, the fight didn't go as planned. And my first fight, I was confident, and my trainer was confident in me as well. So I got signed up to fight against someone who had fought 7 times in total before. So some Muay Thai fights and some mixed martial art fights. And I believe that this will go well. I prepared and I feel strong, I feel ready. But when the fight occurred, there was something that wasn't on my side. I felt like it wasn't my day. And what happened was that I got punched, and I got punched hard, and I wobbled a little bit at one point. And because it was my first fight and it wasn't a professional fight, when that happened 2 times, the judge, he ended the fight. And I thought that I was still going to be able to win. I was still going to be able to turn it around, even though I got counting. In my mind, I was feeling him getting tired. And I would have liked to continue, but that wasn't the way it played out. And after that, I got very down. And I thought, what is the reason for this? Why am I going through this? I've done everything right. Why do I deserve this? But after that, I reflected, and I realized that I had missed one thing, and that was doing more hard sparring. So I needed to do more hard sparring. So after that, I decided to enter 1 year of discipline, as I call it. So it was a year where I would be celibate. It was a year where I would only shower cold. So I would sometimes do warm showers, but it would always be first cold, or at least it would end with cold. So the max cold every time I wanted to shower. And I was not allowed to eat candies or anything except when I was in social situations. Then I could take maybe something sweet. But otherwise, my diet was strict, and I started to really focus on my goals in terms of making sure that I showed up for every hard sparring session. So in my club, we have one guy that has won the Swedish championship in 3 different weight classes. So I made sure to spar with him and his sparring partners. And I remember one time I got so bloody But my trainer, he just said, keep going, no mercy. And yeah, it was tough. It was tough. I can't say it another way. And but it was that moment where I faced someone who had more experience. He wasn't going easy on me. He went as hard as he could, and I went as hard as I could. And that moment, even though I was bloody and even though it hurted, it was that moment that gave me the confidence that when I did my second fight, I went in and I said, if I went through this, if I did this hard sparring, if I got this bloody, if I got this pain, then what is this? This is nothing compared to these sparring partners that I've been through. And what happened? I won. So just by not giving up and by not throwing in the towel and just getting up, because like I said, both the winner and the loser, they both have failed at one point. Michael Jordan, he was kicked off the basketball team when he was young. And if you read any of the inspirational stories of great people, they have faced challenges. So if we want to be strong, which is what I pray for, then I need to go through things that will make me stronger. If I want to be courageous, then I need to do things which scare me. So whatever it is that we want, if we want patience, then we can't expect everything to be given to us in a snap of a finger. I've said this before, but success as we think it is not about what we get, it's not about what we accomplish, it's about who we become and being able to be at peace with who we are, because we know that we give it our all. If we go through a challenge, if we face something hard, if we can't push through it, we'll go around it, we'll wait for it to disappear, we will go under it, we will go around it, we will go wherever it takes, because we are the driven ones and we continue no matter what. And if we have that mindset, and when we face challenges, when the book that we create or the business that we create, when we face something that is not something we want to do, we remember these things and we push through and we do the extra work, even though it's hard, even though it messes up our schedule, which it did for me, even though it means I need to work in the evening late, which I don't want to do. We go, we push, and we know that eventually this hard thing that we're going through, these mosquito bites that I'm getting right now, it will pass. It's not the end of the world. All we need to do is stay in the game. So what I want to say with this video is, I'm in the trenches with you. I'm not looking to be someone that you look up to. If we have that mindset that there's nothing that can stop us but ourselves, then we're invisible. We can overcome whatever challenges come in our way. So stay in the game. If something happens, let's say you're doing publishing and a book doesn't succeed, publish another book, publish another book, publish another book, until you start to get some wins. And then you focus on that and you see, okay, what did I do wrong with that lost fight? What did I do wrong with that book that didn't go well? What did I do wrong with this business move or whatever it is? And you analyze it and you make sure you correct it. And then you also see your wins and you see what went well. Why did I succeed with that book? Why did I succeed with this fight or whatever it is we're doing? And if we do that and we analyze and we grab the lessons from the losses and the lessons from the wins, then how are we ever going to be stopped in whatever it is we pursue? We're going to win. It's just a matter of time.